Thank you, TMS and Trevor. Basically, to introduce myself, Chief Operating Officer, Drydocks World, Dubai, with the organization since 17 years. Before that, I have been with Keppel, Singapore, and then sailing with Maersk before as my career started. A lot of good stories and good dedicated speeches have been happening since morning. A lot of those have been targeted on how we are going to achieve, how we are going to reduce on the numbers. The deadlines are there from the IMO, which we have to follow. So if I ponder around those, maybe the energy which you have after Ali's waking you up will mellow down. So I will keep it very focused in terms of what we are doing as a shipyard. So decarbonization, basically when we are talking about decarbonization, the target set for 2030 and 2050, we all know about it. We are talking about moving of the cargoes from point A to point B is costing us X amount of carbon concepts across the globe. When we look at the shipyards, the trend of the vessels and the orders which were booked forward, we're having quite a young fleet, which if you see at the status which we got from the Maritime hub, we see that the young fleet is roughly around 14 odd years. So 14 odd years fleet, definitely scrapping is not an option. So people are talking about how we can retrofit, how we can make sure more efforts are put across using alternate solutions across to keep these vessels and the fleet going. So when we look at the concept, we are looking at retrofits. In the morning session also, a lot of my friends have touched base on the retrofits, which are air lubrication. We saw vanes, we have seen bosses on the propellers, we have seen Mavis ducts. We have also seen smart concepts on the propeller design itself, especially the container vessels which are there in these days. Then we have seen alternate fuels as well. Alternate fuels, a lot of modifications are happening. As a shipyard, we are doing those modifications at the moment. As we speak, we are having a project on the LNG conversion. Though the concepts are not backed up by facilities where you can bunker, where you can have fueling facilities across the globe based on the routes. Those challenges are still there. Carbon capture is one more element which was put to task. We are doing one prototype on that, but still, as we discussed in the morning and sessions as well, funding and whether it is economical or whether it is viable to take forward is always a question mark. Certain companies and shipping lines are taking those bold steps, but not all. Then hybridization, then green further projects are there in terms of energy and energy distribution as such. Those are also in terms of projects which are being undertaken. Again, offshore energy is one more aspect which is there, which is quite touch base in the morning as well when we are talking about wind energy and how we can contribute in the terms of wind energy. So these are subjects which were discussed in the morning session, so we don't go further beyond that. But as a shipyard, what we are doing, that is very important. So we as a shipyard, we have looked at how we can contribute. We can contribute in terms of a lot of activities we undertake for shipping lines. Let it be the retrofits of engine, that is one thing which is a part of the job. But when we are doing our operations, we are looking at how we can channelize those operations in the right direction. But in the morning, we touch base that how we can all collaborate. This is something which is missing. So we are working with technology partners in terms of how we can change the concepts of hull treatment in terms of coating of the vessels, trying to use the robotized mechanized options of coating, which will reduce the input of labor, which will reduce the input of energy, and that actually is giving us a benefit in terms of we will get some kind of cost savings in this operation. So how we transfer that cost saving to the clients so that he will be also participating in this initiative. Because if we all keep talking that we need to initiate, we need to do this and keep targets, we are not matching somewhere. Everybody has a challenge, right? So when we are looking at now the concepts of silicon applications, which a lot of vessels are doing, we are trying to optimize that with robotic blasting painting solutions, which is reducing the manual inputs, which is giving us cost benefit, and this cost benefit we are passing on to the client. So it becomes a cyclic phenomena wherein the clients also can buy in and they can take their baby steps in moving forward. Apart from that, definitely converters are something which was touch base. The shore power which we are giving to the vessels, we are doing roughly on an average 300 odd vessels. So the shore power which we are giving to the vessels is completely green. It is coming from the Maktoum solar power grid. So that is one initiative which was off running for almost 3 odd years when we succeeded, and now we are 100% through with that. Then we are talking about also, we are doing training of our people. So we have close to 90,000 to 100,000 training hours. When we talk about training hours, the traditional way is, let's say we have 50,000 training hours for welders or 50,000 training hours for blasters and painters. So it is a manual training wherein you are using actual grit, you are using actual water, you are using actual plates, you are using the welding machines and welding equipments. So this we have moved to simulators. So when we are doing these simulators, we are saving close to 100,000 hours in a year when we are putting training. Drydocks World Dubai today has 20,000 workforce because we are segregated between ship repairs, which is quite a substantial amount, and then we are also doing green and offshore construction projects. So training and upskilling, as we all know, is a problem with the skills which we have. So we are investing in that kind of concept where we can save also from the input of actual materials used to train people and to groom them. Lot of stuffs are talked about retrofits, about gadgets, about equipments, but when we look at certain areas where we can also improve is our own processes. There has been situations wherein we are doing a lot of heavy lifts with our floating crane. Floating cranes, lot of audiences here will have their own assets in terms of tugs, in terms of vessels and all. They have been designed, they have been built, and the concept which they have been designed and built has been the one how we have been operating for quite some time. Similar has been our case wherein we had our floating crane. Floating crane, we are doing on an average close to 100 odd lifts, 2,000 tons is the capacity of the crane. So we literally used to use 4 tugs to hold and position the crane, and we used to do the lifts. 4 tugs again is quite a lot of consumption. Few hours, 8 to 10 hours of work, standby and operating hours is involved in these kind of lifts. When we studied, we found out that simple change in design of the bollards which we arrange could save us by not engaging another tug in the operation. So instead of 4 tugs, we are using 3 tugs now to do the same operation. So these kind of things are also in the control of us as seafarers, us as vessel operators, us as the yard, which we need to see how we can engage and change and take those steps. Because operations and facilities or the processes which we have set across, these are all designed for specific subjects or specific equipment which we have been holding for quite some time. So this is some changes which I see which have added value to us. We cannot miss out the AI concept or the digitalization concept. So slowly I will just touch base on the digitalization concept. AI is something which we are implementing and which I would recommend that a lot of us can use because it is a technology which will actually add value in reducing the cost on the retrofits. It will help in reducing the cost on any kind of green initiatives which we take. With the AI, we have engaged into a lot of machine learning concepts wherein we are engaging our CNC machines and our drilling and heavy machinery which we are using in the shipyard, wherein kind of similar jobs, the setting hours is quite engaged and worked out, wherein you don't spend those many hours to set up the machines and equipments, which traditionally has to be going on for the people who have sailed like me quite few years back. We have lathe machines and all, we are setting up and engaging machines and equipment for quite longer durations. These all have been come through and we are reducing on that. The second good initiative is in terms of I would call it Uberization of our moving equipment. Being such a large facility, even the ports or other yards or other logistic enterprises will have the same kind of thought process, wherein in your perimeter itself, like 5 kilometers of perimeter which Drydocks has, we are having our forklifts moving around, our cherry pickers moving around, and our trailers moving around. But they were not optimized in the terms of usage and based on the span of their movement. So with this concept of AI, we are trying to optimize how the lifts can be engaged and how we can try and save the movement and unnecessary movement and idling of the equipments. So AI has helped us now in optimization of our moving gears like forklifts, cherry pickers, trailers and all. We have saved close to 100 tons every month, which we are channelizing and seeing how we can further optimize that. And we are trying to engage those concepts also in our berthing facilities. We are doing a partner prototype project wherein we are using the drone and the AI technology with AI, so audio-visual kind of engagements, which will help us in positioning of the vessel and reduce the docking time and berthing time of the vessels, which again will inherently reduce the engagement of the tugs. So this is in general what we are doing as a yard, and appreciate that this time's up, so I will not take further more. But it will be a change in the thought process, and the concepts which we practice within our organization will actually help in changing those. So I would recommend that we all see into what processes we are doing, and we can alter some of those which will help us. Thanks.